Have you ever wondered about the immense power trapped within the humble atom and how we can harness it for our needs? Let's embark on a journey to unlock the secrets of this microscopic wonder. The atom, the basic unit of matter, is more than just a tiny speck. It's a powerhouse, a ticking time bomb of energy waiting to be released. This energy resides in the very heart of the atom, its nucleus. The nucleus, made up of protons and neutrons, is where the magic of nuclear energy begins. Now you may be asking, how does this energy get released? Well, we do it through a process known as nuclear fission. In simple terms, nuclear fission is the splitting of an atom's nucleus. This process starts when a neutron, a neutral particle, collides with the nucleus of an atom. This collision causes the nucleus to become unstable and split into two smaller nuclei. This splitting releases a tremendous amount of energy, along with a few additional neutrons. These newly liberated neutrons then collide with other atoms, causing them to split and release even more energy. This sets off a chain reaction, and before you know it, you've got a self-sustaining cycle of energy release. It's like a microscopic domino effect, each atom triggering the next and the next and the next. But this isn't just any energy we're talking about, it's a colossal amount of energy. To put it into perspective, the energy released by the fission of a single atom is over 1,000,000 times greater than the energy released in a typical chemical reaction, like the burning of coal or gas. And that's just the power of one atom. Imagine billions upon billions of atoms, all releasing their energy in a chain reaction. That's the kind of power we're talking about when we discuss nuclear energy. So, the question is, how do we harness this incredible energy in a controlled and safe manner? The answer is nuclear reactors. So buckle up, because we're about to dive into the fascinating world of nuclear reactors in our next scene. A nuclear reactor, at its core, is a complex machine designed to control nuclear fission. This process of breaking down atoms releases an enormous amount of energy, which we harness to generate electricity. But how does this intricate system work? Well, let's dissect this atomic powerhouse and explore its key components. First up, we have the fuel rods. These are long, thin tubes filled with pellets of uranium or plutonium. These heavy elements are naturally unstable and prone to splitting apart or undergoing fission. When they do, they release a burst of energy and tiny particles called neutrons. Now, these neutrons are essential to the fission process, but they're also a bit unruly. They zip around at high speeds, often too fast to trigger further fission reactions. That's where the moderator comes in. Usually made of water or graphite, the moderator slows down these high-speed neutrons, making them more likely to cause additional fissions and maintain the chain reaction. However, we don't want this chain reaction to go unchecked. That could lead to a dangerous buildup of heat and pressure. So, we use control rods to keep things in check. These rods, made of materials that absorb neutrons, can be raised or lowered into the reactor core to adjust the rate of the fission reaction. Of course, all this fission creates a lot of heat. This is where the coolant, often water, comes into play. It absorbs the heat produced in the reactor and transports it away, usually to a steam generator where it's used to produce electricity. Finally, we have the containment structure. This is the last line of defense, a robust shell designed to contain any potential release of radiation, protecting both the reactor itself and the surrounding environment. Now that we understand the components of a nuclear reactor, how does the whole system work together? Well, stay tuned because that's what we'll be diving into next. A nuclear reactor is like a well-choreographed dance, with each part playing a crucial role in the overall performance. At the heart of this performance is a process called nuclear fission. This is where the magic, or rather the science, happens. Let's break it down. Picture a ballroom, if you will. In our nuclear dance, the fuel rods are the dancers. These rods are long, slender tubes filled with uranium or plutonium. These elements are heavy, unstable, and prime for a dance-off, or, in scientific terms, a nuclear reaction. When a neutron, a subatomic particle with no charge, sachets its way into a uranium or plutonium nucleus, it causes the nucleus to become unstable and split apart, releasing a vast amount of energy in the process. This is nuclear fission. But wait, there's more. This fission also releases additional neutrons, which can then go on to cause further fissions in a chain reaction. Now this is where things could get out of hand. A runaway chain reaction could lead to a nuclear meltdown. Not good. Enter the control rods. The control rods are the choreographers of our nuclear dance. They absorb excess neutrons and control the pace of the chain reaction, preventing it from getting out of hand. They can be raised or lowered into the reactor core, allowing operators to control the rate of fission. Now, let's not forget about the moderator. The moderator is like the dance floor itself, providing the right conditions for the dance to take place. In a nuclear reactor, the moderator slows down the fast neutrons produced by fission, making them more likely to cause further fissions and keep the chain reaction going at a steady pace. So, we have our dancers, our choreographers, and our dance floor, all working in harmony to maintain a controlled chain reaction. The result is a steady release of heat. But how do we turn this heat into usable electricity? Heat alone is not enough. We need to convert it into a form of energy we can use: electricity. That's our mission in this phase of the nuclear power process. So, how does this transformation occur? Let's dive right in. The heat produced in the reactor core is not a wasted byproduct. Rather, it plays a crucial role in the generation of electricity. This heat is used to heat water in a separate sealed loop of pipes. As the water heats up, it begins to boil and turn into steam. This steam, under high pressure, is then directed towards the blades of a large turbine. Picture a windmill with the steam playing the role of the wind. As the steam rushes past the turbine blades, it causes them to spin. This spinning motion is mechanical energy, but we're not done yet. We're aiming for electrical energy, remember? This is where the generator comes in. The turbine and the generator are connected by a shaft. So, as the turbine spins, so does the generator. Inside the generator, we have a magnet and coils of wire. The spinning movement causes the magnet to rotate inside these coils. This rotation induces a flow of electrons in the wires, a phenomenon we call electromagnetic induction. And there we have it, electricity. The generated electricity is then transmitted through power lines to homes, businesses, and industries, where it powers everything from light bulbs to electric cars. But this process doesn't end here. The steam, having done its job, is cooled back into water in a condenser and sent back to be heated again. This creates a continuous loop of energy production, making nuclear power a reliable source of electricity. So, we've unlocked the power of the atom and converted it into electricity. But what about the risks? Harnessing nuclear energy is not without its risks, but stringent safety measures are in place to mitigate them. Let's delve into the potential hazards that come with nuclear energy. One of the most prominent risks is radiation. This invisible force is a byproduct of nuclear reactions. Though it's contained within the reactor during normal operations, if a reactor were to fail or a leak occur, it could potentially escape into the environment. Radiation can have serious health impacts, causing sickness and increasing the risk of cancer in those exposed. This is why safety measures are paramount. Each nuclear reactor is housed in a containment building, a robust structure designed to withstand high pressure and extreme temperatures. This building acts as a shield, preventing any radiation from escaping. Another significant concern is nuclear waste. This is the used nuclear fuel that's left after a reactor has produced electricity. It remains radioactive for thousands of years, posing a long-term risk if not properly managed. But don't worry, rigorous measures are in place to handle this too. Used nuclear fuel is stored in specially designed pools or dry casks that are heavily shielded to contain the radiation. The waste is then either reprocessed, reducing the volume and toxicity, or disposed of in deep geological repositories far from any human activity. Finally, let's talk about the risk of nuclear accidents. While rare, events like those at Chernobyl and Fukushima are stark reminders of the potential dangers. To prevent such catastrophes, nuclear plants employ multiple safety systems and regular inspections. They're designed with a defense-in-depth approach, meaning multiple layers of safety measures are in place to prevent accidents and to limit their consequences should one occur. Nuclear energy is a powerful tool in our energy arsenal, but like all tools, it must be used responsibly and with great care. In the pursuit of a sustainable future, it's crucial that we balance the immense benefits of nuclear energy with the potential risks, always striving for the highest standards of safety and responsibility.